Best of r/entitled parents episode 178. Subscribe for edit videos daily. This is my first post and I'm on mobile. Please don't crucify me in the comments. A bit of backstory. I had a half day at my school, so I stayed with my friend and his parent at a different school that had a full day. You will see what happens. Cast: OP, me F, friend K, Karen FM, friend's mother. So I got picked up by FM and we had to go to FM's work at a different school. So F and I hang out in the teacher's lounge and relax. Q Karen. K, what are you doing? You need to be in CLRS's. F, we don't go to school here, my mother works CIW on THAFIT. Detention. OP, F's mom works at this building. We got out of school early Capus. K and I keep arguing for about 10 more minutes before FM comes into the room. What are you doing, K? Said FM. These children are violating school. Responses K. FM proceeds to tell K that we are with her at this school because we had an early day off at school. K proceeded to back off in a huff and we were not bothered for the rest of the time that we were there. Thank you. Next. Before I start, this was a repost, original by me, but taken down since I did not have enough comment karma at the time. This is a short story, but TL. Doctor will be at the bottom. Cast: me, you/taught by Calfish. F, friend. EM, entitled mother. NK, nice kid who tried to explain to his mother she was wrong. This happened to me this morning, so I still remember some of the details clearly. I was playing tennis with my friend on a rented court, at the place where it has 6 courts, where 2 are clay and 4 are artificial turf. Please note that one court next to the 2 clay courts is labeled clearly, Court 4. During the hour we were playing, the EM came up to the fence that was the outer fence of the court, and called to my friend, EM, get off our court, we booked this court, and you need to move. F, pardon? EM, you need to move off, we booked this court. It was at this time I heard their conversation and I called out, are you sure? EM, yes. Show me your booking. It was lucky that I brought my phone and my dad had sent me the booking, otherwise I would have been done for. Me, here, shows the booking. We are on court 1. This is court 1. EM, this is court 6. Me, no it's, court. EM, this is court 6. I need, she emphasized the need, this court. I can only play on turf. Her kid, who had noticed by now. NK, mum, this is court 1. EK, oh alright, I'll go ask someone else. She storms off, with her kid in tail. Last I saw her, she was talking with an employee, who motioned to the court on the far side of the courts to me, and she walked there, probably annoyed she didn't get her way. If she only noticed the sign above court 4, it would have saved us a lot of trouble. TL. Doctor, entitled mother thinks court 1 is court 6, doesn't believe me when I tell her otherwise, and tries to kick us off by telling an employee. Thank you. Next. So a few weeks ago me and a friend went to a Yay Quarantinas lifted happy hour together. She apologized, but said she has to invite her mother-in-law as because the woman, EP, had wanted to go to the same restaurant the same day and might have shown up anyway. We were there for maybe 15 minutes and got our drinks and a basket of bread and placed our order for appetizers. Seated indoors in nice AC. In comes EP. We see her and my friend, let's call her Emily, waves at her. EP waves back but is still at the hostess stand for a good 10 minutes? A long time when you're sitting there trying to wonder what she's doing. We have a table. The restaurant was for sure busy as heck and had a wait. The poor hostess looked disgruntled. Finally EP comes over and sits down. EP, I asked for a patio table. I told her I know the owner, they always take care of me. We were uncomfortable because we hadn't wanted one, or to go outside at all. But she didn't ask us, she just went for it. I honestly knew this was going to get worse. 10 or 15 minutes later she's twisting around and making a show of how she's looking for someone. EP, I always sit at the bar here, I never pay for my drinks, they always buy my drinks for me. I think that's the owner right there with his friends. She points to a group of people standing and laughing. His name is John, I think. The waiter comes over. She complains we still haven't been resat. He says he will check on it. He said I know the owner. I want a table over by them now. Just pull some chairs. The waiter tried to explain they're only allowed to seat every other table and there weren't free ones available. She looks indignant and says I'm going to go over there and ask him myself. Waiter leaves. She starts complaining to us about something or other. Emily had warned me that EP is a bit much. She waves again at a passing waiter that isn't our guy. He comes over. EP, is that the owner over there? Waiter, yes that's him. EP, what's his name again? Waiter, Mark. So she jumps up and runs over there and pretends like she knows him with her "Oh my god, haven't seen you in forever, so good to see you." She didn't even know his name. We were forced by her to move to a table next to his group where he didn't once speak to her, but she kept twisting to make eyes at him. Even bought him a shot. He didn't accept it. The bill for the end of the night was $370. Both Emily and EP ordered food to go for their husbands. I had the waiter split my check off from theirs. EP insisted she pay the rest herself without Emily pitching in. Emily was uncomfortable but got the tip instead. Sounds good, right? Like a generous ending? No. Emily told me a week later that EP emailed the restaurant and threw a fit saying the bill was wrong and how dare they mischarge her and it was so unprofessional and how the three of us couldn't have racked up that much. We were there for 4 hours and they both ordered premium stuff from the non-happy hour menu. It was 100% accurate. I'm so embarrassed, I never want to ever go anywhere with her again. Thank you. Next. I'll try to make it short. So basically all my childhood my father wasn't there because he didn't deserve to be. He mistreated, cheated, insulted and abused my mother. But when I was 17 he and my mother got back together, therefore me and my sister had to move in with them. My father thinks he can demand anything from us after everything he has done. He keeps saying stuff like "That's not how I raised you." Probably that's because you didn't, Dad. And my own children don't love me. For starters, he is a complete stranger to me. He only talk with us to ask stuff and complain about my mother, and he makes a super drama when I refuse doing something for him. But easy things like serving his own food when the platters are in front of him. My mom doesn't like when I talk back and I'd do anything for her, but there are some situations I'm not willing to pass through. Thank you. Next. Yay, buckle in folks, it's about to get stupid. Your cast for today's circus show. Entitled Kid 12-13ish. EM. Karen. Dispatch. Me. So this story starts at a little past 4:30 CDT and and I were racing around and he was talking crap about how slow I was. After that we cruised for about 10-15 minutes till the star of the show came and she yelled at to give her the mic and he agreed. So EP. WHO is this? Me. I am fat and a car kid 1124. EP. Your real name? Me. Bobby, not my name. EP. How old are you? Me. I'm 17 mom. EP. Do you even have your driver's license? Me. No. EP. Then why are you driving? Me. Oh, it's a video game. EP. I will call the cops on you for driving without a license. Me. Oh, all they're gonna do is put you in a mental hospital. In the background they should put you on a box floating down the river, grandma. SpongeBob reference. We both die laughing and EP is just getting more pissed and picks up her phone and says, 911. Me. Do it. 911. What's your emergency? EP. This kid is driving without a license. You need to arrest him instantly. Okay, what type car is he in? EP. A bright red Lamborghini. Where is the kid? EP. He's in a game. Mom, are you telling me he's in a video game? EP. Yes, he's only 17 and doesn't have a license. Dial tone. Me. Haha, told ya. Turns off Xbox. The end. Thank you. Next. TW. Animal abuse/death. When I was homeless, I was lucky enough to have a friend who let me sleep on his couch for a while. The next door neighbors were just awful people. Entitled All to Hell and Bible Thumpers to the Third Degree. I was out one morning, having a smoke, and I watched their brats tormenting their dog, a sweet female mutt. The poor thing was tied up to the tree in the backyard, a new development from last time I had seen them. The kids were flicking her with sticks. The dog was curled up in a ball and just taking it. I went over, knocked on the door, and told the father about it. He lost his shit, rambling about kids being kids and it's just a dumb dog. I walked away in a huff and went back to the porch. A little bit later the kids were back out and back up to it. So I filmed it for a bit and screamed at them to knock it off. And here comes Pops again, hooting and hollering about me, yelling at his kids. I told him his brats need to be taught a lesson and I was calling the sheriff about the abuse. The dad stormed off and while I was on the phone I saw him walk into their backyard. I didn't have a chance to say anything before he shot the dog. He didn't even have the compassion to make it one shot. No, he had to shoot 2 more times before she stopped screaming. I booked it back inside at this point and told the operator what just happened and that I was afraid for my life. A deputy showed up shortly after and the father was arrested. Not sure what for. My guess would be discharging a firearm in a residential area. He was yelling and ranting about how he'd rather the dog be dead than let someone take her. I have no idea if he was charged with anything. I ended up moving in with my father a week later. TL. Doctor. Entitled father would rather kill a dog than teach his brats to behave. Thank you. Next. Another tale of entitled daycare parents. From a daycare director. At the daycare I work at, we currently have a client who never would bring in spare clothes for her child 5F. We would always tell her that her child needed the spare clothes but mom would always forget to bring them. Or she is on her cell phone when she picks up and doesn't attempt to listen to what we are trying to tell her. When her child would have accidents, we would put her in spare clothes that belong to the daycare and tell mom she needs to bring them back. We stopped doing that about a month ago because the mom wouldn't ever bring us our spare clothes back. So we started calling her every time her child had an accident and told her she needed to bring her some clothes for her child to change into. Finally mom started bringing in an extra set of clothes because she was tired of us calling her at work. On Friday when she dropped her child off, we noticed the child was wearing some of the daycare's spare pants she has previously been sent home in. We checked the child's cubby, and she had a spare skirt because mom finally started listening to us about her needing spare clothes. So I told her teacher to have her change into her skirt, and we washed the pants that belonged to the daycare. When mom came to pick her up she asked why she was in different clothes. We told her that the pants were ours and so we changed her into some of her own clothes. Mom had a royal fit about how unprofessional we are, how we don't care about her child, and that we never should have asked for our pants back. We told her we reminded her several times about us needing our spare clothes back. She told us that she is too busy at night picking up her kid to fully listen to us. We obviously have a lot of spare clothes, and that we didn't really need them back. We told her we have a limited amount of spare clothes, and that is why we kept reminding her she needed to bring them back. She then stormed out and said she would never bring her kid back to us if we were going to make a big fuss over her keeping our spare clothes. It's a shame she forgot she has to give a 2-week notice before removing her child. I'm sure she will just love the tuition owed letter she will be receiving from me this week.